Hey there, YouTube followers. This is Michael of Painting War Games, and sorry, I'm gonna pay attention to the computer screen right here because I'm gonna look at your guys' comments from the last video that I made as I'm talking to you guys. So, yes, the last video I said, it was my farewell to playing Warhammer 40K. I'm gonna make things a little bit more clear because maybe I had some confusion. Um, I'm done playing 40K. I'm not done painting and buying the models for it. I'm done playing it for a time being, um, and it's mainly a break for the foreseeable future. Until I don't know, until I want to play a game again. I guess as of right now, I'm just sort of I really don't want to. You know. But I've read your guys' comments. I haven't necessarily replied to them yet, or I haven't replied to any of them. Gamza, you said, hey, it's good to take a step back and recalculate your stance. You told me to take my time. There's always room to grow, and just not to dig myself into a hole. IDIC Bear says, that's a shame, my friend. James and his stuff. James, I'm gonna say something to you, man. I watch Fritz's videos. I'm a big fan of his. And one victory can cure string of defeats. And I completely agree with that. It's just I feel it's the time needed to step away from playing the game as it is, and I myself see myself as a modeler. As right now, I'm working on the drop pod that I got that primed. I'm doing it in the Angels of Revolution. Their name might change a little bit now. Their name might change to Angels Revolution. I'm still playing with the idea. But yeah, I'm well working on the as you guys can tell right there. Got the orange going. But even James, you've said, will I play other games instead? I've always wanted to play War Machine and Hordes. I played Cador and Legion of Everblight for a while, and I got out of it. I sold all my models, and I got back into it with Legion of Everblight, and then I got back out of it after my room got destroyed. The models got destroyed along with it. So with that being said, I would love to play another game. I might actually pick up another system. Malifaux is being pushed real hard in the St. Louis area right now, and I really don't know too much about it. I've heard that a game will last like an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes. It's like a skirmish game, sort of like War Machine and Hordes. So I might go into that. I have looked at a range of models that I really like, called Anime Tactics. I like the models. I'm not too sure about the game because there's not a big following here in St. Louis, but that might be a line that I get into where I just say I like the models and I'm just here to paint them. I know 501 Spartan, you've replied, and you actually have a video review that I apologize I have not yet watched yet. I know I've read all your guys' comments, particularly yours. You say I shouldn't give up. I should shuffle all it takes into these defeats as learning. You say I'm acting a little childish by giving up on playing, and that I should cheer up. Which, in my response is, man, I'm 29, or I'm 28 years old. I'm going on 29. Everyone has some string of defeats, and I've been losing for 2 years now. And right now, the meta And I've actually taken them back some time and looked at the meta in the St. Louis area, and the meta is hyper competitive players. I don't necessarily like it. I don't agree with it. Now I'm gonna apologize to this next guy. I cannot pronounce your name. I know it's German. It's Sir G. Man, I can't pronounce it. But you say you totally sympathize with the decimating experience of losing really bad. You just started to play 40K and a couple of games in which you do not see any light. You got tabled on turn 3, which was horrible. And hey, man, my sympathy to you. That you basically walked into a game where you lost before you put your models on the table. You're German, you know, and which is cool because I come from a German background, which is awesome. You know, I'm glad to see. You know, I got a fan out there from Germany or you got a German perspective. And you're right, the U.S. players here are quite competitive. There seems to be, I'm going to use my hands as this, there seems to be a line here where we are the modelers, we are the painters, we are the casual gamers. And I have tried to bridge that gap into the competitive market to where I could show my craft at competitive tournaments. Be like, you know, this is the guy who won the tournament, and yes, he might not be hyper competitive, but look at his models. You know, he's a good general, and look at the stuff he's doing. You know, my Angels Revolution models. You know, I'm trying to bridge that gap where I'm trying to be the painter, the modeler, because I love painting. Don't get me wrong. 40K models for the amount, for Games Workshop, for the amount of models they produce, on the scale that they produce it, how fast they, you know, pump out codexes now. That is a different debate for previous years. And the models they come out with in plastic, and I'm glad they're moving away from fine cast, and that's another debate for another time. You know, I'm trying to bridge that gap. I'm trying to become a competitive player that is a great painter at the same time. And it seems like you're either one or the other. And there's a guy, and I'm going to call him out. His name is Avery. He lives in the St. Louis area. And I called him out on our forum, Games STL. He said, hey, I'm coming to this tournament. This is the list I'm going to bring. He brought 3 Helldrakes, 6 Obliterators, a Psyker level 3 Demon Prince of some sort, Typhus, and a bunch of cultists and a handful of other things. I called him out the night for the tournament, and because he said, yeah, this is a bit cheesy, and another guy said, no, that's not cheesy, that's just being competitive, and I said, hey, that's being cheesy, and I don't like cheesy players, and I've ran into this guy before. This guy has some massively deep pockets. This guy can order Forge World items, bring him, I don't know, and I know he's not painting them himself, because this guy, I've seen some shit that he's painting, he's pretty a crappy painter in my opinion. Either he's having someone else do them, which I can firmly believe, or he, you know, or he's gotten really good as of late as painting. But he's got some massively deep pockets. I don't know what he does for a living. I don't care. He's an asshole, and I'm gonna say that he is an asshole. He just comes off that way. You know, he is a rule Nazi. Oh, you know, you can only see the very tip of that guy's head, so I'm not going to count that. It's like, come on, give the guy a break here. You know, if you can see the guy legitimately, you can see the guy. But he's an asshole, and, you know, he's a rule Nazi, you know. This is how the rules are. He does not care. He's not going to make leeway. So, yeah. You know, to get back to this guy, this German guy who did a response, yes, we are very competitive over here in the States. I have to admit it. You know, when I played Magic the Gathering, I was very competitive, and I got to a point with Magic the Gathering, and I'm getting to the point with 40K, was that I was on a losing streak. You know, I had a lot of the good stuff. You know, I had a lot of good things. I just didn't know how to put it together. And instead of quitting like I did Magic the Gathering altogether, I'm taking a break as of right now. You know, I am done playing 40K for a while. There's another qualifying tournament next month. I have yet to tell my mates and my buddies this. I'm not competing anymore. I'm not even playing casually. Um, this is a day off today. It's Monday, the 20th. Martin Luther King Day here in the States. But yeah, I'm done playing 40K for at least a while. And it might get to the point where I actually stop playing 40K, but yet I'm going over to fantasy. It's sort of odd, but the fantasy crowd here in the St. Louis area is a little bit more laid back, and I like that. It's really cool. How casual they are. They're not super rule Nazis. They're not going to bust your balls for doing something horribly wrong. They understand it. This is a game. It's a beer and pretzels type game. Is how they have it. You're out to have a good time. You're not out to beat someone up. But with that said, I understand the tournament I went to was a hyper competitive tournament. It's a qualifying tournament to go to this big one in March where you could win a Warhound Titan. So yeah, I maybe I didn't realize how competitive I was going into the waters yet. And you're right. I'm reading you say, well, 40K is a pretty damn weak system for that purpose, for the differences of reasons as far as competitive play. But it really shines in casual games when both players agree not to use power gaming lists. Sure, a lot of players go for them, but if that ruins it for you, well, find other people to play with. Maybe take a break, but don't stick your head in the sand. He quotes that. So yeah, that is sort of odd. I really love how my Angels Revolution are coming. This is the plasma cannon guy, and I've actually modded him just a little bit to look more like the other ones because this was actually the first guy I came out with this color scheme. It's sort of odd. I want to paint. I want to paint full time. I want to paint models for other people. I would love to be a full-time painter. On the level that Blue Table Painting does it, I'd love to own my own studio. Because one, I believe I can beat Blue Table Painting's prices. I might not be able to give you that ultra level of painting skill that they do, but I can give you guys something pretty close. I mean, Tybros here, the Red Wake. Let's see if I can't get him in the focus. Why not? Tybros, the Red Wake here, is one of my best models I have ever painted. Over here, here, I'll show you guys. That is the shelf for where the stuff sits now. I know it's far away, but yeah. That is where all my big models sit. That is where all my pride and joys, like my Wraith Knight, my Helldrake, some of my bigger stuff. So yeah, I'm not done playing 40K. I'm just done. Oh, okay, I'm done playing Warhammer 40K as of right now. I'm looking at my options as far as like Malifaux, War Machine Hordes, Anima Tactics, because I really like those models. I actually want them to paint them more than anything. I'd love to get into some Forge World models, the 40K based stuff. Tybros here. He was a 40K model I found on eBay and got him. I've never once played this model. I love his fluff in the Bad Ep War books, and I just love the model. So yeah, it's just sort of I got to take a step back, sort of work on things for myself, work on my career. Like I said, I want to paint full time. I'd love to start using YouTube as a way to draw in painting commissions. If you guys want stuff painted, by all means email me at paintingwargames@gmail.com. I'll get you guys a quote. I'm not looking to do this full time as of right now. I'd love to get that way. That way I could have a website for you guys. You guys can come to me and say, "Hey, Michael, could you paint a squad of tactical Marines for me in a certain way?" And I'd be like, we could go over what you want, and I could quote you guys. And I'm going to put this out there. I do not charge for shipping. You guys want stuff, I can get whatever I can get at my local game shop at Manager's Market, which is 20% off retail. Even other stuff I can get at 15% off. The entire line of Games Workshop. I can get this stuff at a discounted price. I can paint it and send it to you at minimum charge because I'm the guy who's doing it. So yeah, I mean, this is sort of my pitch to doing that again. I know I'd let off for it for a while, but yeah. And you know, I'm sorry, my videos are gonna sort of be long videos. I apologize to you guys right now. I think for foreseeable future they probably will be lengthy, and I'm not gonna get a whole bunch out. But yeah, this is what I'm working on, guys. The drop pod. Got that one. There. Got this panel done. And you know, I got that side done. Now I'm working on this one. So I gotta go all the way around. 2 coats of blazing orange on each section that I do. So I'm gonna actually pick up more of this. So, alright guys, this is Michael of Painting War Games. I'm signing out, and as always, keep gaming.